Hey guys, welcome back to Bucks Tech YouTube channel. Just wanted to do a quick one on sort of the state of salad and just kind of my experimental test bench here that I'm currently running a RTX 3090 and an RTX 3070. As you can see, this load or this container just spun up literally minutes ago. It at one point was using about 28 gigabytes of memory, and I was kind of thinking usually when the memory is that high, the memory usage, that usually it's $4 to $6 container, and it ended up being a weird $1.20 container. So I don't know if that's the fault of the workload itself, just being what's available, or if it's seeing the 3070 and judging appropriately, or if it's seeing the, I don't even know how the 3090 would factor into that, because it's typically not what is normally expected of a GPU like that. But it does look like it is downloading or sending and receiving more through the Windows subsystem Linux. So maybe there's a little more sprinkled on top here that might add to the income. But yes, this is kind of been the story for this rig. It started as a 3090 only, and then, I had several of these 3070s sitting around from my defunct mining rig that I kind of a couple of months ago broke down, and just kind of sitting here as I can't seem to sell any of these 3070s. No one wants 8 gigabytes of VRAM anymore, so I could sell them, but you basically have to give them away at this point. So I'm just kind of holding pat, and if I could throw a 3070 in something, I'll do it. And actually what I ended up doing was I took out the 4080 in my main PC rig. I put a 3070 in there. I put a 3070 in my 9-year-old kid's PC who totally doesn't need one. And I've got one here, so I'm just kind of using them however I can, because I just don't like expensive hardware sitting around. So anyway, so it's kind of been on and off with this rig as far as the payouts. But one thing I did kind of notice is it'll either get a workload like this, $1.20, $1.80. It was on a $1.80 workload for about 16, 18 hours at one point yesterday. And so it'll either get, a sub $2 container, or it'll get like a almost $5 container or more. There was one, it kind of morphed from that $1.80 container to an almost $6 container last night, which gave me some encouragement. But it's like it switches off. It's like, oh, there's a 3070, let's give him less. Oh wait, there's a 3090, let's throw him a bone here. So yeah, still kind of messing around with the 2 GPU configuration, really for the hell of it, as I have 7 other rigs that do have dedicated GPUs. So it's my test bench, it's inside, it's kind of use it as my main sort of office rig for slicing 3D prints or surfing the web, or looking whatever I need. I don't really game on it, so why not experiment around a little bit? But yeah, lately today, as far as like the state of salad over the last 24 hours, at least for me and my 8 rigs, I'll do all that in a second. But it's been kind of bleak. It's not bad, but it's definitely on the low side of average for me. And yesterday we kind of peaked here at 0.22 and 0.24. And if, that's every 15 minutes. So if you extrapolate, basically times 0.24 times 96, then you've got what you would make in a day. But that was only for just a glimmering second. And then we're kind of in these 0.05s, 0.10, which really tells me there's like 2 or 3 rigs with jobs at the moment. But if you look at the per rig, oh, that's not a rig, then you'll see, yeah, there's a Looks like those are both 4060 Ti 16 gig. That's working, and then this 3090 combo is just started up here, and it's just on a kind of a cheap workload there. But yeah, I've got basically 5 rigs sitting here doing nothing, just spinning the wheels. But as you can kind of see yesterday, you know, I actually did something yesterday that I'd kind of been contemplating for a while, and just all of the Ethernet cables were all kind of just these jank cables that I had sitting around, and they were just extra things, and I was like, you know, I might as well use them. But kind of got a wild hair the other night and decided to replace all of my rig cables with Cat 8. And I haven't seen any gains from that necessarily, but I have kind of noticed, and this could just be random that this happens this way, but there's less really peaks and valleys. There's more flat spots than there kind of normally is, but that just could be the variance of the containers that I'm getting at the moment. So anyway, yeah, so over the last 24 hours, I've made $11.61. Which I still won't complain too much, but potential could definitely be so much higher. So anyway, that's the status on this. And let me show you my other rigs really quick before I end the video. I won't show you these dogs. And here's my other rigs in my sauna hot garage right next to some big water heaters here. Okay, so quickly, I have a 4080. This was in my main gaming PC that I took out to put the 3070 in. And these all have, actually this has 96 gigabytes of RAM, but all my other rigs have 64. And that's running off of 5700G. I've got a 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte. It is running off an i7 8700 and 64 gigs of RAM, system RAM. 4070 Ti Super currently sitting idle with a 4350G Ryzen, I think it's 4 cores, 8 threads processor, 64 gigs of RAM. And then we've got the two actually doing work over here. This one is a 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte, and it is a 5900X CPU here. And then we've got another 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte. And the crazy thing, not that crazy, but when I was looking for 4060 Ti 16 gigs, they're all in this kind of $400 to $500 range, and I got really good deals on these. And they're the really nice ProArts, which they don't have any, you know, RGB or anything, but they kind of match at least the CPU cooler. So this is also another i7 8700 here, 64 gigs of RAM. And so these two are actually earning money right at this moment. And then down here I got my test bench, Praxis test bench, wet bench thingy here with a RTX 4080 non-super and 64 gigs of RAM. I think that's really fast, or pretty fast RAM, 3600 CL17. Better than your average RAM. And then last but not least, I have an RTX 2080 Ti, like 11 gigabytes, sitting on, I kind of just like, my buddy gave me this motherboard. I had all the other parts pretty much. Have an i3 9100 4-core 4-thread processor with the 2080 Ti and 64 gigabytes of RAM, and just a hulk of a PSU. It's a 1600 watt, and just stuff I had from mining. Really, I can't advise anyone to just go buy a rig just to do salad. Like a lot of this stuff, weirdly enough, I just already had sitting around from mining that I didn't want to sell, or, you know, sell in air quotes. I didn't want to dirt cheap give it away, and I wanted to put it to use. And in, you know, these hot summers here, I didn't want to be mining, even if, you know, I'm sticking with it if I can. It's just better to be on Salad at the moment. So this is a vertical mining rig frame that I had. So anyway, profits right now just aren't quite the best, but we're making it through and we're keeping them running, and you never know, things could turn around at any point. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I know this was kind of a long video and I probably ranted a little bit, but I've been meaning to do one of these for a while where I just kind of show everyone, you know, what's my setup, you know, running Salad, because I know it's very popular right now, and with good reason. The mining isn't quite where it needs to be, in my opinion. So, you know, what's he doing now? And I hope to post future videos of just kind of the individual nature of each of these rigs, and overall just kind of Salad updates, because I wanted a wide array of hardware, decently wide, that, you know, didn't conflict with what I already had, but I wanted to try different GPUs and have different ones so I can almost cast a wider net as far as workloads go. So with that brings information, and I could kind of be a little bit more insightful for other people that are running similar setups, and just kind of say like, hey, you know, my 4070 is not, I don't have a 4070, let's say a better example, my 4080 is not getting anything. Well, I can be like, you know, I've got two of them and they're not getting anything either, but this, and this are doing better, or whatever. So anyway, thanks again, guys, for stopping by, and hope you all have a great day, and see you back on the next one. Take care.